Hey guys, this is my first PUBG video. I'm going to be covering just week 1 and week 2 and just the observations I saw of this new winner chicken dinner format. I know it's a hot topic and I'm a little late to covering it, but I just want to give my input because shout out to Oath for bouncing back and winning week 2 and then, solidifying their win. Because week 1 we saw they ended the week with 16 kills in 3 days. Maybe I think it was like 20. I think they on the last win they cleaned up the Young Kings fight. But they had 3 wins with, let's just say, 16 kills. Now, Akreshe had like 60 and they had 2. And then fast forward to week 2, O stepped it up. They had about I can't remember exactly, but I think they had around 50 some kills, which is definitely, look at the gap. I think, from 16 to 48 and, they're an edge team, so I get it. But I think with this format, the first week you could see people weren't taking any fights. And I think week 2, since Oath is an edge team, they said, screw it. If we need a spot, we're going to just go for it. Speaking of, I know they got eliminated by Sonics in the last match, but, they pushed gas cans out. They said, listen, we need this terrain. We're going to hit gas cans and get them out of the game. And they did. And they didn't even hesitate. That's the thing. They didn't hesitate on who they wanted to get rid of. They made decisive decisions. And with this format, it's really starting to piss me off with how certain teams are playing. That one final ending, I think that was game 3 on Sunday, where Sonics ended up winning, right? But Dignitas could have made an executive decision to maybe push 303 above them, and instead they played the street knowing it wasn't gonna be in on the final zone. Like 8 or 9, and they would be absolutely screwed and out in the open. And they just, Dignitas all week 1 and week 2, I didn't know what they were trying to do, and it just was so infuriating. And like I said, I don't know if it's because of the format. I don't understand. But there were so many decisions where they wouldn't even shoot. They would just hold up. And my thing is, I get this format maybe doesn't reward risk, but I think if it doesn't reward risk, I still think you should take the risk because it boosts your morale. Hey, we are able to kill. You're seeing I think it was a Kickstart. In one of the interviews, he literally said we got to shoot our guns. How do you know if you're gonna play well or be able to kill teams if you're not shooting your guns? I'm seeing Dignitas getting a 2v4 wiped. That shouldn't happen. I know I'm harping. I know this is a video about Oath, but I'm just trying to put the light. Some of the teams, I don't know what they're doing. Oath made executive decisions. Sonics were making executive decisions. Yes, they weren't getting wins, but get this. They were listen, we're doing 2-2 splits. We're going to get some terrain. We're going to make moves to compounds that we can rotate from. And it just, you could see they were putting pressure on the map. Gas cans, I know that a lot of people don't like their playstyle, but in this format with what they had to do, they did what they had to do, and they made executive decisions to get to a compound, hold it, make sure they could rotate to the next one, and get the win. And in this format, you can't be mad at them for that's how they played, and they were keeping 4 up to get to the end. And, you got to salute to it. But at least they were doing something to win. These teams weren't doing things to win. Dignitas were pissing me off. Dodge pissing me off. Granted, Dodge was winning. But there was this... Shrimsy kind of mentioned it, but I don't know if you guys really paid attention week 1 and week 2, how apparent it was. It's not the third partying that's annoying. Third partying is whatever. That's PUBG. But the fact that teams aren't fighting the right team is the issue. I'm going to recall, I think it was Friday. Wait, hold on. Before I get on that, it was the TSM loss where was it Young Kings? It was one of the LatAm teams. I'm sorry, I can't recall. There's so many teams. There's so many moments. It's hard to recover all. But it was a Dodge, TSM, Sonic Tickleton was up, one of the Dignitas members, and maybe Versus or Young Kings, and Dodge had the high ground. TSM was low, and I want to say one of the LATAM teams was like over to the right area. Now, you are aware Dodge has more members and has more ground. Shermsy, like he said some teams need to temporarily truce and kill this team because then it can be an even fight for you guys. I don't know what teams are doing with their planning. Like, why are you giving a team a win? Why would you give a team a win when you can potentially make it mixy and get... Granted, you down, yes, it's, you got to think, like, yes, it may help the other team, but it's also could help you if they know that, like, if that LATAM team knocked a Dodge member, TSM can then push up and knock another Dodge member. Now, you guys are hyper-focused on Dodge, and then you can fight each other. Yes, you may get knocked in between there, but at least you're on an even footing, and now you can eliminate the bigger threat. And there was just so many situations all tournament long where you're just like, why are you two fighting? You're looking across. Dignitas was maybe the epitome of that. I just never knew what they were focusing on. They could have killed Sonics in the one game they could have won. Shout out to Cresce in that week. Weird. It was weird. I mean, they still listen. Yes, they won week 1, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is a fluke," but they still put up about like 60 kills in week 2. So, or like close, like 50 kills. I mean, listen, they're still playing their game. I mean, a lot of these teams were just playing Edge for so long that it came back to bite them because they weren't making executive decisions. It's because of this rule set. I do hope they change this rule set. I'll speak a little bit more on that. I do think it's not actually, I know a lot of games are moving to that, right? A lot of games want to go PC, mouse and keyboard, getting rid of controller friendly, like, for Halo, COD, all types of games and stuff. And they want to make the format the same that you play at home. But the thing is, let's be honest here, there's a lot of PUBG gamers that don't ever get a dub. They don't ever get a chicken dinner. I see it all the time. I still go on the PUBG Reddits and they go first win in X. Okay, so if we're going to go with a realistic setting, a top 5 is realistic. And you should get rewarded for a top 5 placement. You should get rewarded for a top 4 placement. Even a top 7. A top 7 is a hard placement to get, let's be honest. Especially in a ranked lobby when you're fighting for control. I don't want to go too much into it. I know this was a rant. It was a rant just because just watching these teams play. I really want to give a shout out to Alo and TSM. He was an absolute monster this week and last week. I feel like he, just popped off to a different level. I don't know if there's any other real people I want to shout out. Young Kings for getting 3 wins in a row. Amazing. Sonics, unfortunate. But one thing I can compliment on them, they didn't change their game. They didn't change their play style on this format. They didn't change it, and that's one thing you can reward them. Gascans didn't really change their play style either. But I don't want to harp on the format too much. I do hope they change it. I hope you guys appreciate this video. Let me know what you think. I'm definitely going to look to improve it. I'm going to be covering more PUBG, Halo as well. I will cover EU as well. I just was able to watch week 1 of NA and week 1 NA and week 2 NA, and that for my time schedule. But I will start covering EU because Virtus is looking incredible. I will talk about Team Liquid and FaZe and all these teams and figure out what they need to do, because a lot of these teams are looking rough and Virtus is looking like the top. They're looking absolutely dominant. They look like they're making every decision perfect, every rotation perfect. They're looking like a clear cut. Like, it's looking like they're the best team, and then there's just like a gap, and then 2, 3, 4. So, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you would like. Let me know what I need to improve on. All right, thank you guys.